Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Taylor Jones, and I have one question to ask you. Do you have any, and I mean any, idea what time it is? If not, let me welcome you to Season 5 of Cold Man's Winter. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Taylor Jones, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits. But at the same time, welcome back to my YouTube series, Cold Man's Winter, Season 5. And for those that watched my latest episode of Cold Man's Winter Season 5, thank you very much. And I know it's been a tough, tough situation based on the video that I made a few days ago because in the life that we live, we always have complete misunderstanding, and all of us, we like, who's to blame? Like, we are easily, we're trying to take the easy way out, like, be innocent, but that doesn't work. God forbids that to happen to all individuals because the truth must be told. So for this episode, like I mentioned last time, my last episode, the the type the type of topic that I want to talk about is privacy. What is privacy? Why is it so important? Well, being private is like being hidden. There's some things about life that no one, and I mean no one, is supposed to find out. Because once people get exposed, that's like all hell breaks loose, and or others say it's a war. Action speaks louder than words, but words speaks louder than actions, vice versa. Which made me think of the Pastor Troy song, what was heaven, what if heaven was hell and vice versa. Even though it was comparing good things to bad things and bad things to good. And being private is kind of like, who's private more between men and women? Who's private? Why stay private? Like I said, people don't want anything to be mentioned, brought up, even on social media, even on the radio. Because it's kind of like to expose somebody's privacy, to them getting mad at you. Because trust me, I'm not the only one that had to deal with that situation. Everybody has been dealing with the same shtick, being confronted for doing such an evil act. And due to the fact that I called it an evil act, because to disrupt or disturb or disrespect somebody's private life, it's kind of like you're creating the seven deadly sins all over again. Some of y'all are envious, like 7 days. Sunday, you've been envious. On the Lord's Day, come on now. Monday, you were glutton. You're gluttony. Gluttoning for attention on a Monday. Tuesday, you are greedy. Greedy like a pig on a Tuesday. And because of the word Tuesday and the fact that I brought up the third deadly sin, although this is the second deadly sin that starts with the letter G, Tuesday, two G's, like 2000. It makes perfect sense. But DJ Quick, Marvin Blake, David Marvin Blake will tell you this ever since 1995. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. But on hump day, guess what day it is? Wednesday, the middle of the week. You had the nerve to have lust over somebody. A lot of people realize what it's like because in this day and age, we still have a war between protection, and especially from creeps and weirdos, who later turn out to be perverts. Like, when was the last time we ever thought about our children trying to stay safe? That's why a lot of parents are overly protective, and if the kids want to react in a negative way, they don't understand. But when it comes to comparing privacy, like the dangers of it, the misuse of privacy to the seven deadly sins, it all makes sense. Because a lot of people, they getting out of hand nowadays. And Thursday, now remember, from Sunday to Wednesday, I did mention it, envious. You are in envy. Monday, gluttony. Tuesday, greedy. Wednesday, lust. Thursday, you got too much pride. And I ain't talking about LGBTQ pride. I'm talking about pride. Like, you feel like you the Mac, you the pimp, you the player, you the bad girl. You doing all right. Everything is all right. All right. Okay. But on Thursday, too much pride, too much selfishness, too much complications that you just don't want to see later on in your life until somebody had to bring it up to your attention, or God brings out the light, as in spell it out for you. Even if it means the police, even if it means to get a message, a warning, as if you're banned or forbidden, all because of your low, sinful, selfish ways. Because it's kind of like flirting with somebody that's older, somebody that's married, even if they're not married, knowing that it's not a good time, and it's too much to handle. Like, you're invading their space. You're not giving them space. You're not focusing on you. You'll never get what you want. You can't always get what you want. Is that why relationships always go downhill when a spouse or someone that you fell in love with found out your negative, deep past? Yes, it happens. Everybody say the Chicago Bull happens for a reason. But will you be 100% serious enough to accept it, even if it means to lose your friends and family, your respect? But what about Friday? After living a life full of pride on a Thursday, Friday, of course, a lot of people can relate to this ever since the iconic Bruno Mars song, "Today I feel I'm not doing anything. I just want to lay in my bed. No need to sit here by the phone, so leave the message by the tone. 'Cause today I feel I'm not doing anything. Nothing at all." And like the last episode when I brought up Neo's song Lazy Love, you gave me lazy love. You got that I don't wanna go nowhere, lazy love. You got that I don't wanna do nothing. LAZY. Too much anger in everybody's eyes. You're lazy. That's right, you're lazy. You ain't doing the darn thing. Everybody wants to chill. But on Fridays, you have to get up and get out of the house. Get some fresh air. Even if it means to take a little drive. Take care of your business, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? But to top it all off, Saturday, day number 7. Deadly sin number 7. What do you think is going to happen? You'll be caught up in wrath. People going to strike you down. Yell, 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 yell. Scream, scream, scream. Expose, expose, expose. you got exposed. So what you're gonna do after one wicked, lazy, controversial week? Most of the time, when it happens to me, I get out of line and I get quiet. Also, I get depressed over it, but there's nothing good coming out of this because if I was a smarter man, like if anybody, if any man was smarter based on the decisions, the dumb decisions, the controversial decisions that they made, including women and teenagers, knowing no matter how young or old you are going completely downhill. And then when everybody tries to tell you, you'll be the one to be judgmental and jump to conclusions, even after that person tells you in the angriest way. And see, this is exactly what tough love is. But to invade somebody's privacy, physically, socially, like social media type, guess what? It's kind of like stalking. Now, back in season one, episode 5, I talked about the dangers of stalking, and but on episode 3 of season 1, 2 episodes before that, I did talk about sexual harassment, unless that was episode 4. Because being sexually harassed, stalking leads to sexual harassment, even when it comes from disturbing somebody's privacy. To invade somebody's privacy, you're doing exactly what Ludacris's Christopher Bridges' old record label was doing, because the name of the record label, or as they would call it, DTP, it stands out. The words stand out. D, disturbing. T, the. P, peace. Just like you getting an eviction notice for a loud noise disorder for throwing the party while people are sleeping. Disturbing the peace. You ruin somebody's privacy, you're disturbing the peace. You're stalking somebody, you're disturbing their peace. You expose somebody's privacy based on your so-called memories, and how do you know all this stuff? Even when you try to send something by mail, and a lot of concerned people are wondering why a lot of hackers and scammers, spammers, they get away with murder, especially online, even when they use the white pages and the yellow pages. Because white and yellow pages, they can also be easily misused to ruin somebody's privacy. You could easily learn a whole lot about random folks, but knowing good and doggone well, the angel on your right shoulder saying, no, let them go. Don't get too personal. Or, as people would say, TMI. Like the people on TMZ, they always interview a lot of celebrities. Like sometimes TMZ needs to back up because they're going too far with TMI. Made me think of the time when Tiffany Haddish got mad at the TMZ camera crew. Like, you don't get the F out of my face. It's kind of like the same thing as if Snoop Dogg told Like the same way that Snoop Dogg told Donald Trump because of the LeVar LeVar Ball's son, one of LeVar Ball's son getting arrested for shoplifting in China. And Trump said, I should have left him in jail. It's like, F you, Donald Trump, and everything you stand for. Whoa, whoa, whoa. First off, enough with the F bombs. Just say, shame on you. If you don't get out of my way. Ruining someone's privacy, they gonna fire back at you quick. Get out of my way. And to TMZ, if they're doing something like that, it's kind of like they are getting too personal. They want to know you. They want to follow you. They want to make juicy gossips. And like gossip magazines, they just don't know when to quit. Take Six talked about it in 1988. Claude McKnight said this. I know somebody who declares he got it made. He won't admit it, but it's just a masquerade. Man, he's a modern day deceiver with a case of falsehood fever. What a shame. It's just a game. Mark Hibble agreed with that statement, and he mentioned that and there's the dear old sister Sarah. Ain't she sweet? Oh yes she is. She hears the word, and next thing you know, it's in the streets. By the time it's been repeated, all the truth has been deleted. What a shame. Another game. But Mervyn Warren, back when he was a part of Take Six, a vocal singer and a producer, and he left after the second album, So Much to Say, in 1990, which came up with a powerful song that I love so much until this day. Come Unto Me. I am a diehard fan of that song. Come Unto Me by Take Six, where they sang the 11th chapter of the Gospel according to Matthew, verses 28 through 30. But some of the words they had to speak out on their own, although they're really quoting the scriptures. Mervyn was the one that said, and there's a family that we'll just call the Greens. They get subscriptions to the gossip magazines with a twisted sense of visions. They treat rumors like religion. What a shame. And based on the fact that he brought up the rumors, made me think of another song from the 80s by the Timid Timex Club, whatever that group name was called. They were known for, look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. It's the same old, same old. Well, and as Take Six would say it for the bridge, Mark, Claude, and Mervyn, they said that it seems that everything we hear, I guess it seems like everything that we hear is just a tale. But I believe in something that will never ever fail. And what is that one thing that will never fail? Love. Spread love instead of spreading lies. Even when you realize that you messed up, that was the lesson that you should have learned from Jump Street, 21 Jump Street. Unless you want to take the sequel route to 22 Jump Street. Spread love instead of spreading lies. The truth needs no disguise. But for all the individuals who had the nerve, the audacity to expose somebody's privacy, you might as well take off the mask now. Take off that bandana. You got to step to the light. Even if you want to change your ways, like cut your hair bald, shave your face. And for the women, you might as well take off your sunglasses. It's like, let the whole world see your scars. See the tears. Knowing that you got yourself in trouble and you had to face the consequences. I often say that love can open any door, but I wish we had much more. We dang sure do wish the same thing. Hadaway asked, "What is love?" Black Eyed Peas asked, "Where is the love?" More love is what we need. But to all the individuals that has been running around invading somebody's privacy, and I admit I was one of them. I'm telling you from my experiments, it sucks, sucks, sucks. And as the men on films from In Living Color would say, hated it. Well, I hated it as much as y'all do. I hated it as much as all the individuals who had enough and put their foot down. When will we, men and women and kids, put our foot down and say to ourselves, enough is enough? It's kind of like saying, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Can't you see? If being right means being without you, I'd rather live a wrongful life. Well, I'd rather live a right life and leave the people alone. Leave them alone. Is that too much to do? Even if it means to shut up, back up like Onyx. Because next thing you know, you get caught slipping. It's curtains, in curtains. It's a casket. It's a jail cell. No good comes out of it. Take me to jail. Lock me up. Throw away the key. Or you end up like Mekhi Phifer's character Strike from The Clockers from 1995. And Harvey Keitel said, next time I catch you, I'll make sure you gon' share the same jail as Delroy Lindo's character. Now get the heck out of here. As in, Mekhi Phifer, aka Strike, you made the biggest mistake of your life. You got a kid, Tyrone, a little kid named Tyrone, to kill a guy. Try to take him out. You could have done it yourself. Your homeboys, Onyx, they turned on you, mostly sticky fingers. Delroy Lindo is planning to kill you. Even Keith David, who played Andre the Giant, the police officer, caught you slipping after Tyrone admitted where he got the gun from. But before that, in the beginning, Isaiah Washington's character, he was asked by Strike to take somebody out. And after that went down, Isaiah Washington got sick. He started feeling pain and he couldn't grasp it. And he had to pay the price for Mekhi Phifer's wicked ways. Went to jail. Even his mother was mad. She confessed, and she even slapped Strike in the face for disobedience. Just like Keith David's character beat the crap out of Strike. And for him to bring up Rosa Parks to Mekhi Phifer or Strike saying, "Who's Rosa Parks?" Dude, Strike's character, he was up to no good. But the point is this. Near the end of the movie, Tyrone had to face the truth and serve half a year in the juvenile committee, 6 months in juvie for a murder. But since he told the truth, he still had to do the time. Isaiah Washington reunited with his family. And as for Strike, he ended up leaving Brooklyn, never come back. And it's the same is true for Big L's alleged murderer, his friend, his childhood friend Gerard Woodley, who actually felt like it was important to get to Big L's brother, who he had to kill Big L, like as Biggie would say, Christopher Wallace. And now I know what's meant for me. I guess some haters felt they had to kill the closest one to me. And when I find them, your life is to an end. They killed my best friend, me and my chick. But Big L talked about it. Lamont Coleman, he talked about his prediction of death to get killed on February the 15th, 1999, on the streets of Harlem, outside his 139th and Lenox Avenue neighborhood, in a crap game. And the song was called Casualties of a Dice Game. Shot in the face and in the abdomen, the chest area. Willie got arrested, but the cops let him go for the lack of evidence, and was told to stay the heck out of Harlem. Don't ever come back. And of course, he did time. Gerard Woodley, he did time. But in 2016, that alleged shooter of Big L killed him at an untimely age of 24. 24-year-old Coleman murdered out in the streets of Harlem. 17 years later after that, justice was considered served because the killer, once childhood friend of Big L, he got gunned down. Somebody started praising him on social media, well, praising his death on social media. Now Big L can finally rest in peace. Justice was served. The murderer of Big L was killed in revenge. But who would do such a thing? That's none of my business. That's why a lot of people would rather keep the death madness, the death rumors, or the death information to be silenced, because one person can predict how the person died when it's not 100% true. It's like the time I thought about a young African American girl grown up to be a woman, but she didn't live to see 21. Graduated high school in 14 or 15, but ended up dead in 16 or 17. To be asked about, but the people asking on social media what happened when someone posted about their friend's death, dumb old me had the nerve to just predict, just guess, suicide. Now, how the heck do you know that person died from suicide? Even the people like you, even my people like you, got to back off. Now, that's one perfect example of why privacy is not in my system, because I never learned a dang thing about minding my business. All I do is jump to conclusions, and here I am telling you about my troublesome past, because I am a fool. I'm a fool of bad timing. I am a fool to not leave folks alone sometimes. I'm a fool for not keeping my mouth shut. But it takes a nation of beings to shut me up, because I know for a fact that if you going to continue to ruin somebody's private life, you're going to end up getting pimp slapped, but not by Will Smith, because everybody knows the iconic, keep my wife's name out your dang mouth. I'm going to, okay? But then Chris Rock, he kept going. Even when when everybody's like, "Yo, screw Will Smith." No, 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 no. Don't say that. But of course, he has a screw Will Smith moment. You talk bad about the wife, you're talking bad about the family. If you hurt one family, you're hurting the whole family. And if you's a Christian, you did that, boy, you would have to talk to another family member of the person that you harmed and offended. No matter how old they are, no matter what gender, you still have to pay the price by doing the right thing. Spike Lee want us to do the right thing, and my dad always quotes, how does Spike Lee say it? Do the right thing. Look, Dad knows that movie. And Take Six, shout out to Take Six, because they were the ones that did the radio jingles for the movie. You're listening to Mr. Senior Love Daddy on We Love FM, WELOVE 108 FM. But this is more than Brooklyn. This is more than that. This is more than Living Color. In Living Color, this is more than Take Six. This is more than Big L. This is more than Disturbing the Peace. But since I brought that up, what will it take for us to live a better life? When people are living a private life, like for instance, y'all didn't know about Wu-Tang members Method Man having a wife over 20 plus years. That's because he never brings it up. He never talks about her. She never even goes to the premieres because they keep it on the down low. Keep it on the down low. Keep it on the down low. Nobody has to know. The only people that should know, only people that would know is the family and the Lord. No one else. Because sometimes friends are not your friends. You can't trust anybody. Trust no one but the Lord Almighty and the family that taught you how to respect others. So instead of DTP, we might as well learn to DND. Do, as in do the do. But sometimes doing the do, it can backfire. That's why the letter N follows, as in I'm doing the do, not do not. And what is D? The second D. Do not drink. Do not drive. Do not disturb. As in, don't disturb this groove. And the feeling so real. I'm so into you. Just here to tell you that don't disturb this groove. The system. Have we ever paid attention to the system when they did that song? Since 88? No. Do not disturb. Do not disturb this groove. Do not disturb everybody's privacy. Don't believe me? See for yourself and see where you end up. Like I said before, disrespecting somebody's privacy is like stalking. Stalking is a part of sexual harassment. Sexual harassment leads to feeling guilty, or you got caught up in the 7 deadly sins. You get exposed for exposing somebody, for offending somebody. Have you lost your mind? Stephen A. Smith will tell you to stay off the weed. But I would tell you to smell the weed, metaphorically, because there's another weed. My weed that I'm talking about has nothing to do with cannabis. I even brought it up in one of my old rap songs under my Uncle Bean alias Problems 1 Billion Stories, which was a cover of 8 Million Stories by a Tribe Called Quest, which Phife Dawg, God rest his soul, Malik Taylor, he let it rip. He talks about his problems. I talked about mine. You have your problems, I got mine. Sean Carter would say it, well, mostly Tracy Morrow, aka Ice-T, said it first, along with Brother Marquis from Two Live Crew. I got 99 problems, but a girl ain't one. I got a billion problems, and disturbing somebody's privacy, now that's one of the big ones. See, do we even try to work things out with the people we hurt? Do we ever apologize 100%? Do we ever know when no means no? Do we ever know when letting go means letting go? And kind of like a junkie planning to give up the weed life, a hustler giving up the hustling life so he wouldn't have to deal with living behind bars and serving 25 to life, as in strike 3. Because some people believe that after your second strike, it's over, which it is. Because a third strike, you're a 2-time loser. Even for the so-called places you like to hang out, where you build up some negative habits, people gonna find out quick you're not really trying to go cold turkey. Like I said, I got involved and it sucks. So don't dare fall for the same hokey pokey thingamajig that I got into. Because then again, a lot of people done the evil deeds that got them in trouble before I did. It's like picking up. As a millennial, I tell you, it doesn't add up. It's kind of like you're leading yourself to your own jail cell, your own grave, and your own exile, like you're banished. Like Simba banished Kovu, as if he set him up. But he, at the same time, Kovu, disrespected Zera, that ended up getting a scar on his face and looking like Scar, which he didn't want to be one. He's a rogue. He's rebellious. And Zera got mad at Kovu all because of Nuka's death. And Kiara, she put Simba in his place, saying, "You will never be Mufasa." That's a gunshot moment. When you expose the truth, you like expose the light on somebody because of how redundant they were, how narcissistic they are. That's when you find out quick, like the people who got all the power, their weakness will be burnt. Their weakness will explode because they forgot where they came from. I forgot where I came from, and here I am talking about privacy and why you should learn how to back off. But even if you're running away because you can't accept the truth, Chris Webber on Uncle Drew said this best. You want to make things right? Then you got to stop running from the truth. The Far Side tried to remind me too many times, but I was a baby. I was 1 year old. I was 12 months. Between 12 to 17 months. 12 to 17 months old. No. Let me rephrase that. Between 6 to 17 months, the whole year of 1995, The far side warned me that I couldn't keep running away. You can't keep running away. Can't keep running away. Well, I have to. But then again, what they say, you can't keep running away from the truth. That's what it is. You can't keep running away. You gotta fight back. You gotta grow a pair of muscles. And I ain't talking sexually. I'm talking about your muscles right here. If you want to grow some muscles. Grow your mind. Grow your heart like you care, like you give a dang. Stomp on your 2 feet. Clench up your fists. Learn how to fight. Fight back. And you're going to be crowned victor, or for women, Victoria. Victorious. And based on an old film company, well, I know it's still relevant today, but for those that watch the old teenage movies, teenage drama movies that was released in the early 2000s, for example, Save the Last Dance, Coach Carter, but you see, be like the astronaut from that production company, floating around in space. Do you realize that you have the most beautiful face? Do you realize that we're floating in space? Floating in space and doing what? Staying away from all the people that we scared away and offended, like peed off. You say peed, I say ticked. You say effed up, I say messed up. Keep it clean, kid. Kick. DND, do not disturb. Do not expose, and do not go over the top when it comes to privacy, because you're about to give TMI too much information that you really need to do one thing. Come to the Lord, ask for forgiveness, and then after giving a couple people a couple months or maybe years, forgive them. But then again, don't wait for a couple years. Do it now or forever hold your peace. And if you do forever hold your peace, you're going to find out quick that one day they'll die before you, or you'll die before them, based on the attitude, the mindset that's been carried. It's like you got to let that self-love go and let the tough love talk to you. But don't let the tough love get you killed. Because the only thing you're killing is your freedom, your happiness. So do not disturb everybody's property. Privacy, that is. You just be like this. I'm an astronaut in outer space. Floating. All by myself. Flying. I'm looking at you. But for others wondering why I did it like that, it's based on the production company MTV Films / Productions. Be like the astronaut from MTV Films from the early 2000s. Because giving some people space is going to help you realize that privacy means privacy. It's big business. Do not disturb. And because of that, I will have to end this video with the lyrics of Pastor Troy's Vice Versa. Now this song is called Vice Versa. It's like you picture everything you thought it was good that was really bad, and everything bad was really good. The whole world is vice versa. But anyway, and even Pastor Troy felt like when he did this song, he knew he had to make a statement, and he even admitted that he was like preaching it. But the lyrics stand alone, And it goes like this, a rap song, which I will keep clean. What if heaven was hell and vice versa? If I told you go to hell, wouldn't you tell that I curse you? I reimburse you with the truth so you know my fate. They pray I die, and I'm the fella that they love to hate. I want to make you use your mind. God has sent a sign. And when you listen to these rhymes, please take your time. Again, I ask, heaven was hell and vice versa. Would you start doing evil in order to nurture the spirit man? Do you understand that there's a war? It's raging on, and the devil got some ammo too. Don't get me wrong, but I put my trust off in the Lord. It's too corrupt. Knowing that God gonna help me blow him up. I give it up. Heaven was hell and vice versa. I have no fear, because I don't witness too much hell right here on earth. That's what he's saying. Too much darkness. Not enough light. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that relatable? Don't you think? Let me continue. Lend me your ear. Recall the beer or the liquor that we had to pour for all our brothers and sisters, and hit the devil with the 44. Really? Like earlier he said, it's a war. Everybody got guns, including the devil. I hit the devil with a 44 Magnum. Pay back, sucker. My liquor keep me from trying to enter the battle zone and to deal with all this wickedness. And I smoke a zone. I know I'm grown, but I'm still a baby. It's vice versa. So I guess I'll beg Satan to save me. Opposite day. Lord, I am confused. The fuse of all these double crossers making me sick. And of course, this next line has been reversed. But due to somebody making the unedited version, Pastor Troy went to too much detail about Virgin Mary when he said this. Virgin Mary may not have sex with anybody, but she's not slick. With a clique of nasty concubines, it's vice versa, so she'll probably do the whole 9 yards. She'll get with any man she wants. That's what he was trying to say. And called her a nasty joke, a nasty jerk. But I don't know where I'm gonna go this Christmas. It's Satan's spurts, so I try to smoke a pound of weed and ease the hurt. For years, a lot of black individuals, including some whites and other races, they have always put their trust in marijuana to ease the pain, knowing that weed is not going to save everybody's soul, even if you deal with glaucoma. To tell the truth, I don't want to get high. I'm on the metaphorical mind state of weed, as in the weed that I smoke. No, the weed that I smell is reality. Let the air in your nostrils, knowing that if the pollution stinks, it's part of nature, real life. Let me continue. While Jesus equipped with angels, the devil's equipped with Glocks. For God so loved the world that he blessed the thugs with rocks. Crack rocks. So much for switching up the good with the evil. And it's been like this for years. And it won't stop until they feel me. Protect the devil. I think the Lord is trying to kill me. It's vice versa. Heaven is below, while this dro or hydro, as a slang term, a nickname for weed, keeps me high. See, the Lord Almighty, you know I'm ready to die. No. My reply: for any questions asked, the devil made me do it. Who's the devil, may I ask? It's so polluted, uprooted from all the stupidness. See me cremated, my adaptation to the climate. So glad I made it. Elated that they're gonna go to heaven. But did they know heaven may not be the place to go? Again I ask, heaven was hell, and vice versa. The devil's in me, and I'll be darned if I'm gonna let God hurt you. Follow me. But for the featured guest, he said it like this: if this was vice versa, I'll be an angel, but I'm a devil, a down south Georgia rebel, a whole nother stinking level, reminiscing on all the good and the bad that I did. Busting caps and splitting wigs and serving kids and talking slick. This is vice versa, not a darn commercial. Heaven or hell, where do we go when we die? Eternal fire or the streets of gold? Only God knows. Vice versa. Vice versa by Pastor Troy. But why would that song be related to privacy? Because our mindsets are different than others. It's like we are opposite. So, throughout this whole entire episode, I wanted to let everybody know that whether victim or the exposure, we all have different ways to see things and how to face them. But when people want to stay private, like some things they want to keep from being brought up, leave it alone, leave it be, let it go, back off. Because in the end, you will never feel disappointed. You'll never feel depressed, never feel guilty about the friends that you've lost on social media and in real life because of how much anger they got for what you did. They're not going to let this go, but then again they will. But they just going to leave you out of their picture. Michael Jackson said you're out of their lives. And you don't know whether to laugh or cry. They laughing, but you crying. You don't know whether to live or die. It cuts like a knife. You're out of their lives. But in the bridge, he said this. The late Michael Jackson said this. So I learned that love is not a perfection. Then I learned that love won't wait. Now I learned that love needs expression, but I learned too late. Well, what will it take for us to stop having a late moment? What will it take? Besides leaving people alone? Medea said it best. If you want them out of your life, I mean, if they want to get out of your life, Sonny, let them go. But what would Jesus say? That right there is the question everybody always want to ask. What would Jesus do? Jesus did what he did to save us all from sins. There's nothing more he can do but to watch over us. We come to him and ask for forgiveness. That's what we do. That's the real question. What will we do? What would the real Taylor Jones do? What would the real John Doe, Jane Doe, Billy Bob, Mary Jane? What will we do? What would the real us do? Because I know what I would do. If everybody wants to live a private life and keep things from being exposed, you let them go. You leave them alone. Don't be a bully. Don't be a creep. Don't be a jerk even after they get on you. Don't get depressed. Learn your lesson and move on. Do not expose another man or woman's privacy, because it can happen everywhere you go. You either face no friends or family, no love, a casket, a jail cell, a stretcher, or you have to move out of town, start a new life, but never come back to where you come from, where you represent, because the law is on you. So please let go of the past sins. Don't even get caught up in the 7 deadly sins that I brought up. And even though I did say it in alphabetical order, they don't go away. Resist the temptation. Yield not to temptation. And if you feel like you hurt somebody, you're going to have to come to them now. Because I can't do it for you. You got your own life. You only live once, so you're going to have to do the things that you have to do to survive, even when it means to make things right. Tell them that you're sorry. Make sure that everything you do on social media, even in person, like cards, make sure that you proofread every last word you say, because words can hurt. That's one good reason why privacy can be ruined. But don't say too much, because too much information is kind of like spreading gossip. Next thing you know, you'll be telling a lie. Don't predict anybody's future when you can predict yourself. Do not be a fool. Because privacy is real. It's a real deal. But if you go too far, you're going to hurt yourself more than others, as well as others then again. So, to all of y'all individuals, all individuals who are watching my video right now, please know that at some point you'll probably come up with a PSA based on issues like stalking and privacy. Because I thought of one. If I had to make a PSA, and stalking is the number one topic, what would my slogan be? My slogan would be this: don't stalk, walk. Like the old "don't walk and walk" sign. But underneath the walk sign, after I say walk, ... away. That is like walk away. Because to prevent you from ruining somebody else's privacy, you have to like, okay, you know what? I've been hurting people too long over the same deed. I have to let it go. And even if you have to personify anything, like your favorite hangout, where you are no longer supposed to go there because you're going to get caught and you have fears of being caught, what would you do? If I had to personify it as a person, I would consider a breakup. You got to move on. The time is now. Nobody's stopping you. Only you can make it right. Anyway, with all that being said, thank you for watching my brand new episode of Cold Man's Winter Season 5 based on privacy. If you felt so shocked about this video and you decided you want to make a change, then you have my word. You have my blessing, because as a YouTuber, I want all of my fans, all of the supporters from my channel to do the right thing. It might hurt, but at least you're trying to break up the evil deeds that caused you to be down after so long. And also, if you felt like this video made you cry, It tells me that you really cared so much that you would do anything to right your wrongs, period. And you've been hurting so long. That's one good reason why we cry. We've been holding the hurt for too long, and we have to let the past die down. And also, as a real important moment because of this episode, if you really like the content that I've created, I want you to do these things. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell and there'll be more in stores. And this episode has been brought to you by this week's Sweet Lady of the Week. And for this sweet lady, who can I give it to? Oh, I know this one. This week's Sweet Lady of the Week is none other than Miss Trinita Thomas. And to Trinita Thomas, I ain't forgot about you. With all that being said, thank you for watching this brand new episode of Cold Man's Winter. The link of the last episode will be in the description bar down below. This is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out. Please, let some folks be. Because privacy is no joke.